Hello, YouTube. You're tuned in to the Caddy Talk One-on-One show. Please go ahead, make sure you hit that like button when you come in the building. And today we're going to get off into the topic of selective breeding. Okay, so if you guys watched the video I did last week, it was basically absent fathers versus single mothers. And it just started me to thinking that we have one side. We got the absent fathers. Most of them refuse to take responsibility. So that leaves the responsibility in the hands of us women. We have to make better decisions of who we allow in our bedrooms, and we have to make better decisions on who children we decide to carry in our wombs as well. Okay, so I'm going to get off into a little piece real quick, and it is some stuff I pulled up from TikTok. But before I show that, you guys make sure you hit that like button when you come in the building. I'm going to show you this first and foremost, so you guys actually have a sense of what it is and the actual definition of it. So I pulled that up first and foremost. Okay, so we have the definition right here. This is Webster definition of selective breeding. Let me make sure I'm sharing it. Make sure you hit that like button when you come through the building, please, and thank you. All right, so here we go. Okay, so selective breeding is a direct way to determine if specific trait can evolve in response to selection. So basically, to sum it all up, it's called choosing better. And I seen someone down in the comment section of the video about the absent fathers and single mothers. I seen that person commented that. So shout out to them. It's basically selective breeding, and people do it amongst the animals, and they actually do it amongst making plants, so that they know that they can breed the best thing and the best quality of life selectively. So that's basically what that is. So I'm gonna get off into this. Let me share this. Make sure it's showing. And let's break it down to what led to I think to solve any solution, you got to go to the foundation of it. The foundation of the single mother epidemic is black male worship. So we're going to get off into Cynthia G. Shout out to her. You guys can go and follow her over on Patreon. Take a listen to this for a few minutes of her speaking on black male worship. Here we go.
When she came into the relationship, he was under the impression that he was married to this woman for 10 years as he was playing stepdaddy to another man's kids. Y'all constantly hear them talking about how they don't want to be stepdaddies and discouraging other men from being with single mothers. But I told you what they really mean is don't be with black single mothers, because these bandits do not like black children. Because when you point out what these men are really getting, they'll be like, oh, black women do that too. Black women do the same thing. Don't act like black women don't do the same thing. Okay, if black women do the same thing and you're just choosing white, then this is a racial issue.
Hi, hello.
How you doing, Miss Kendra?
What's your name, baby?
My name is Daniel. They call me D.
Z.
She with my cousin. She cheated on me numerous of times. We fought.
She cheated on you with your cousin?
I come home from work and he was hitting her style.
How old are you, D?
I'll be 34 this year.
This is a hard 34, okay? Another person who is 34 is Welfare Roller. So it's so interesting that these bandits talk so much about the wall as they sit there clearly looking like the wall ran into them. They didn't hit the wall hit them. They got everything to say about you, but this is supposed to be a 34-year-old bandit. This is a hard 34.
All right, yeah. What kind of woman are you looking for?
You know, I'm gonna break it to you, Miss Kendra. I've always been attracted to the white girls. I want a sister this time.
Any black woman who wasted time getting with him, do you think she's going to be the main option, or do you think she's actually a place filler until he finds another woman of no color? And think to yourself, if he's considering a black woman now, why? because he claims.
I can tell you why. The reason he's considering a black woman now is because he's got burned out from getting over on all of the women of no color. He's tired of them. So he want to go back and dust it up with the black women. That's why.
He lived in an all-white city. He's still in that city. So if you can consider a black woman now, why didn't you consider one back in the day? Let's continue.
So is your child's mother white?
Yeah. Yes.
The woman you was with was white?
Mixed.
Now let me tell y'all what mixed is for black men. Mixed is Irish and Spanish, because they will try and sit up here and conflate nationality, ethnicity, and culture with race.
I've never been with a black
How
woman
have you never
sexually, any kind of
been with a
way.
black
Period.
woman?
I'm telling you the honest to God truth. I'm holding my phone in my left hand, giving you my right hand swear that I have never been with a black woman in my life.
He's never been with a black woman, meaning there's no point in his history ever when you've even been desirable to him, but then comes on here and says that is the very woman that he is seeking. What must he think about black women? He thinks you're desperate. He thinks you have no standards. He thinks that you're black male worshipers. He thinks that you will take any black man as long as he's black. He just told you.
And Cynthia, what you just said, everything is right. A lot of women, those are the only standards they have when they're choosing a black man. It's just the fact that he black and if he got a job. They don't care. And I'm going to show you that getting off into some things in a minute. But let me finish this.
He don't even know how to interact with black women, but he want one. Why? Why? The fact that he even thinks that he has an option with the black woman is an insult to black women. That right there tells you he thinks very low of you, because you are the one who will take him at his lowest. He thinks very low of you, because a woman who has no standards is the only type of woman that will take him. He ain't asking for no other demographic of women.
So were you like growing up, you wasn't attracted to black girls?
You know, I ain't gonna say no because I do like a fat ass, and black sisters love our built. Black sisters are very built. You know, they're very in shape.
Look at how look at what he's talking about. He likes about you. Certain body characteristics.
I want a woman to be in the image of my grandmother, sweet, caring, loving, you know, on point. So I was always just kind of blind with visual and never knew who somebody was on the inside. And now, you know, being gone through all this in my life.
What he is saying is that I didn't even care about Becky's character. All he cared about was the fact that she's white.
A black man who has never had sex with a black woman. They when they say once you go black, you know the rest. Hey,
You know, hey, you hear me?
yeah.
This is disgusting to me. Like, this is literally repulsive to me.
When was your last relationship?
Oh, maybe 5 months ago. Got to call me the N-word, and I ain't about to keep dealing with that. I got cousins and sisters and shit like that.
They want to call you the N-word?
Yeah, and watch how many laughs and circles and crazy shit we get on reaction, but I'm telling you the truth.
This bandit is still out there in the bed with the very women of no color who was calling him the N-word and putting him through the ringer, because that is his preference, but asking for a black woman because they see you.
It's sad to say how desperate a lot of black women are. I'm pretty sure he probably left the show with one. I want to show you guys something else. At the beginning, black male worship is the foundation of this terrible epidemic we face with single mothers.
I think women, even black women especially, need to look into selective breeding. Like, just be careful who you open your legs for. But be careful whose seed you are multiplying. But be very careful. Because honestly, some things would have been solved with a simple condom.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. And I'm so glad I found that video, because I love, it's the truth. I love to hear it, but I love to hear it when it comes from another man's mouth, especially a black man. He sounds like he's maybe Ghanaian or African or some Nigerian, but he's black. So I love to hear the truth like that come from a black man. Let's get off into this. As I was talking about in my other video, when Love Dorsey said a big issue with the single motherhood is that women don't value a man being in that child life? And I said, no. The man does not value fatherhood. That is the issue. Watch this.
No. Yes. I'm gonna be here when my son is here. Period. Your existence does not mean to me.
So this is how you want someone to treat your mother.
Why are you mad at me? What am I?
I'm not.
I said I didn't
That's
want to have
what I'm
this
talking about.
conversation.
You always giving her a
You're
rap.
doing this in front of your
Man, shut that up.
Stop
You are nobody that has
Stop
any kind of authority over me.
This is not only a man who don't value fatherhood. These are the type of men that we're dealing with that she said we need to value in our kids' lives. And here you have his mother-in-law. I don't know if he's married to the young lady or not, but that's his mother-in-law, possible wife / baby mother, and that is his child that that his baby mother is holding. And he is talking like that to the mother-in-law inside of her house. He told that woman to shut the F up. What's up with your bougie Barbie? Shout out to the moderator. Shout out to the chat. You guys make sure you hit that like button when you come in. We're getting into this selective breeding. It is time for us black women to choose better. Like I said, we got to choose who we let into our room and into our womb. You got to choose who you let have access to your womb. And you have to think of it like this too, people. Even if you lay down with a man and you have protected sex, there's still a possibility that that condom may be defective. It's still a possibility you may become a single mother. And like I was saying yesterday in my video, whenever a woman have a baby, prepare to be a single mother, most likely if you have a baby in the black community by a black man. Be prepared.
So, mom, you is.
Don't tell me how to be a mother in my house.
Hey, stop bitching. Damn. Right, baby?
Get your
I'm moving out.
and get the hell out of my house.
Trust me, I will.
This is how you treat people in front of your son. It's amazing.
You're upsetting Isaiah.
Oh, you ain't my.
He doesn't care if he's upsetting Isaiah.
You talking about shut your stupid ass up.
Please stop.
You say to me, goofy.
You're upsetting him. Calm down.
He doesn't care, get it?
Shut your mouth.
Stop. Calm down.
Damn. Shut the up.
Go get Isaiah and get him the hell out, please.
This is insane. This is insane. And I don't care what color she is. She's still a woman, and she's still a woman who carried that man baby. All color to the side. He is a piece of crap. And then you sitting up here telling the little baby grandmother to shut the F up. This guy, he's so freaking disrespectful. And that's why we do need a man around. Because you know what? I believe this older lady right here, she's a single mom. And what? She's a single mom of no color. She's not a black woman who produced a daughter who became a single mother. And these are not black people right here we're talking about. The only black person in the equation is who? Old Tyrone, Pookie / Ray Ray, who just grabbed the baby with all that anger and all that angry energy and grabbed his baby and told his grandmother to shut the F up. I'm sorry, that couldn't have been me sitting right there listening to my baby father talk to my mama like that. And she just sit there. Now you see women, what they mean. This is Miss Submissive. That's Miss Submissive right there that allowed that man to talk to her mama like that and not sit up there and say, you're not going to take my baby, get the F up out of here. This is a shame. So this is what I'm talking about when I say a man valuing fatherhood, because this man in this video don't value no fatherhood. He don't even value himself. First of all, in order for anyone to have a man in their life that they value, or a man around that they value to be a father, he got to be of value first. He has to be of value. And this man, this is a shame. And you don't want to lay down with just anybody. Some of these dudes are dusties. Yes. And that's a prime example. That's a prime example of a dust mite right there. And I don't just walk around saying the word dusty all the time. But a lot of these guys, man, they fit the category. And speaking of category, I want to say shout out to Paris Malone. Paris Malone, I don't know if you guys follow her on YouTube. She has a really good channel. She talks a lot about the upliftment of women, of black women. You guys most definitely want to check out her channel. this situation I'm about to show you here from her channel, it's about a young man who is, I believe, 33 or 34, and he has a total of 33 children by about 9 to 11 different women. 33 children, 11 women at the age of 33. Do you think that's a man who values being a father? Do you think that man just all BS to the side, even if he is in all those children's lives, do you think that's even possible? If this is actually a real active father, take a look, listen to this. Shout out to Paris Movie.
He has 29 kids in the photo. Wait. No, he has 24 children in this photo. But as he says in this post, the legend, the legacy will live forever. I want see, that's an issue right there. We're gonna start it over. I want thank my kid's mother for helping me make this day possible. I want thank and sorry, he went on to thank his kids' moms for staying and helping with my kids. Thanks for our photo shoot and being understanding. With 9 missing, it still turned out good. I'm truly blessed. So in this photo, he has 24 churn and he has a total of 33. He says 9 are missing. Now, this photo went viral. The woman who took the photo, the photographer, shots.
And you know what I noticed in this picture is that the majority of the 33 children he have, all of them are girls. Dude, I mean, don't you think this is pushing single motherhood to all of those girls? And let's say if I take a guess in the dark, he has a total of 18 daughters. Those are 18 daughters that could potentially become single mothers just like he made their mama.
By kids. She posted it on her page as well, and then he reshared it to his own. And to my understanding, he has somewhere between 9 and 11 mothers of his children. I'll let you guys read that, but this is some of the responses. So you have some people actually defending it. Someone here said Black people are the biggest enemies to one another. Y'all so effing negative, like y'all don't have something to be judged or talk about. It's already majority of the world against us, and y'all choose to be against your own people. If you don't like the pic, keep scrolling. It's simple. It's actually not.
And that brings me to the question of why is society such against the Black community? It's the degeneracy. That's what they're against. What they say at the beginning of that rap song back in the 90s, we're not against rap, we're not against rappers, but we're against those thugs. They're not against Blacks. They're not against Black men, but they are against the degeneracy that comes from our community. Could be a big reason why we're probably the most hated. Could be the reason why we are the ones who are still at the bottom because of thinking like this.
But when this kind of stuff goes viral. Someone also said, as long as they are taking care of the kids and very loving to them, ain't nobody got no business judging in y'all business. It's not for everyone, but if it's for you, do what makes you guys happy. Someone also said, I don't understand. We complain about Black men being absent parents and not taking care of their children, yet try to disrespect a man who proudly acknowledges all of his children. Child, a bar is in the mother.
Okay, wow. He acknowledged I got 33 kids. He deserved a cookie for that?
Dumpster. This person says here, thank you, because I had a whole argument about this man and I don't know him, for saying at least he's taking care of them all. Now, this is where Black people have a really bad habit of this and feeling as if white people give you the approval of something that equates it to being good, and that means that what we're doing is okay. This is why some of them are dangerous, and I just made a video about these dangerous white women. This white woman here says, well, to be honest, I think they all look healthy and their hair is done. The F? And they look well taken care of and happy. So who the F cares about the rest? Are y'all effing on him and having his babies? See these Bakishas? Child, I'm trying to tell y'all. Why y'all want to be in his pockets? Are y'all paying any bills? I understand it's shocking. And y'all have y'all opinioni. What the F does it?
Anyone with $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans may qualify for help from National Debt Relief. Minimum payments could literally keep you in debt for decades. $10,000 in debt can
child, last time I checked, not a spell opinion. And I get that, but I don't know these people either. But why sit around and judge LMAO? Why this?
I want y'all to see this right quick, okay? You guys in the building, make sure you hit that thumbs up. We're getting into this selective breeding, and hopefully we can push a positive message to someone in the next generation so they won't make the same mistakes that we made, our grandmothers, and all of us made. It's for the next generation. You know, what's done is done. Then let's try to change the people coming behind us.
Video is solely not going to be about him. We're definitely going to have to hold ourselves accountable. A lot of people wanted to know how many children's mothers that he has. Now, he said last year on May 9, 2021, he said, "Happy Mother's Day, ladies. I hope all y'all enjoy your day. I want to thank each one of y'all for blessing me with my beautiful children. Without y'all, it wouldn't be no them. So I'm thankful y'all doing a great job, ladies." So in this photo here, and I pressed the additional to count how many more were in the photos, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at this time, it looked like there was 9 baby mothers, but in the photo that I saw that he took with his kids, he had some newborns. So he probably has somewhere between 9 through 11 babies mothers, all Black women, nothing but Black women. And
you guys be honest, if you watch the playback, comment, do you think it is possible for this man to be 100% good co-parent, a good co-parent dad to all these 9 women, 11 women, and 33 kids? Is it possible for this man to be a good co-parent? And be honest, coming from an honest standpoint, is it possible?
I am so embarrassed, ashamed, disgusted, and enraged that Black women would devalue themselves at such a level with a piece of garbage like this. And I'll go on to tell you why I feel that way about him. I'm proud.
And I am very ashamed to say, you know, the majority of them are darker skinned Black women. I think he only probably had maybe 1 or 2 lighter skinned baby mothers. It's the darker skinned Black women. That's sad. Self-esteem issues.
Praying with every fiber of my being that a Black woman would not be stupid enough to marry him, because he tagged this woman in the photo shoot that he just did. And he said here, "I've been through heck and back with this boy, and I never thought the negativity, the lies, the games would come to an end. This boy been trying to get me for years, and I never would talk to him because of what others thought about you. But it's all about getting to know a person and being there despite all their wrongs and trusting that you."
Once I listened to this man in this video, looking at the aggression, and I'm gonna say this first. I've always been told, before you decide that you like a person, before you decide if you love a person, you need to first see that person, how they act in their angry state. I want to see how you act when you get mad. I will be the one to eat the last of your Doritos, to drink your apple juice, to see how you're gonna act. I want to see how you act when you're mad. I really do. No, because it's hard enough to be a good one, just 2 or 3. Thank you, Barbie. It's hard enough to be a parent of 1. I mean, most of the time, come on, kids ain't easy. It ain't easy raising kids. And I think it's just so insane. It's so insane that people talk so nonchalantly about a man who got 33 kids by 11 women. At least he take care of them. He not Elon Musk. Elon Musk even stopped at 11. We was just talking about how many kids he had last week. I didn't even know Elon had all them kids. Because in different conversations, I've always heard people say, a lot of people who really want to carry on a long generational wealth and really want to build wealth will never have this amount of children. And think about, if you want your children to have productive lives, you're going to think of stuff like, hey, what can I leave them behind? Are they going to have a trust fund? You know, I want them to be fully responsible so they can access the trust fund to their 25. Those type of trust funds are what, $200,000 at the least? $250,000? How are you going to do that for 33? Somebody pull out a calculator. 33 times 250,000. Come on now. There's no way he can properly be a good dad. And that's why I wanted to really ask that a truthful question, stupid question by a Black woman. Who got a stupid question? Elaborate yourself. Who is that, Mojo? Elaborate yourself. It's a question that I want to ask because people are saying, hey, at least he take care of them. So therefore, I asked the question, how easy is it for one person to spread their self amongst 33 people? So it's a valid question. If you think it's stupid, then get the fuck out. Plain and simple. It's the question that we have to ask because you guys always want to remove yourself from these equations of when we're talking about single motherhood. And let's keep it 100. I'm keeping it 100 over here on the side of the man and the side of the woman. The big equation of the main problem is the Black woman. And that's what I'm saying. And all you have is a little 5 to 10% of responsibility that you got to take because you don't have to take care of them. You don't have to be there. Most of them don't even pay child support. They credit be bad. And I just found that out. A lot of their credit be bad because of the child support. Because if you're behind on child support, that looks bad on your credit report. So most of y'all are out here with only 10% of responsibility to take, and you don't even want to take that. The 90% of the responsibility is on a woman. We decided who we let into our wombs. We decided who we let bust in us. We decide who we whether we carry the baby or not. I mean, they got laws trying to stop us from doing that now. So I suggest everybody needs to get out and vote for the right person so we can keep control over our reproductive system because they're trying to take that from us. Birth control is out the question for a lot of women. So it's a really good question to ask. How can you sit up and spread yourself amongst 33 kids?
Can make everything right. Brian Demon George, because that's his name. You know, I love you. And so, yes, I will do you the honor of being your wife. So she made this post a couple years ago. Okay. And I'm praying to God that she did not go through with that marriage because I've heard of so many Black women being effed over with the taxes and the child support being able to intercept your taxes. So I pray that she has some sense to have not went ahead and married him. But again, he was so upset that people were criticizing him that he went live going off. And I'll let you guys see that video. And that
is so that is insane. That's insane. You got 70%. 70% of women raising kids by themselves. But this one man who has 33 kids by 11 women, he can still get out here and find a wife. That's the problem in our community, that by itself. That this man is still able to find a woman who will marry him, who see him fit to take to God in holy matrimony is mind-boggling. I can't even think of the words to say about this woman. Take a listen to him and how he purports himself on live. This is the man that has 33 kids by 11 women.
Let's warn you in advance, it is extremely ghetto and he does a bunch of hollering, so brace yourselves.
And as you notice, looking at him, what he got on, a gray pair of sweatpants because he wants you to see his junk, a white t-shirt, rubbing his hands together. He looked angry. This does not look like the guy I would look at and say, girl, that's who lineage I want to carry on. That's what I say, selective breeding. Listen to him.
And I want you guys to pay attention to how he's like rubbing his hands and stuff and his energy. This is all signs of aggression. Like, I had to cut it up, but he spent the first portion of the video just silent, staring at the camera, rubbing his hands, pacing back and forth. Be very weary.
Yep, I think he got more than that too, Barbie. I think he got more than that. She finna be the stepmother to 30 kids. Man, ain't no way. I barely even want to be a stepmother to 2 kids, and I got 2 kids myself. Man, listen to this though. This is the man who 11 children chose to have 33 kids by. This him. These are your kings, black women. This your king.
And leery of men like that.
First off, I'm gonna start by saying this right here. I ain't embarrassed about a thing, especially not my kids. So when anybody feel like that I'm embarrassed about my kids, and like they said, I'm gonna tell you like this here. If you ain't got no more money than me, I don't want to hear anything. You hear me? If you embarrassed, you got anything to say. If you taking care of these 30 kids, if you taking care of me, then you can contribute to what you got to say. But then I don't give a none of you out there bump.
No, sir. You taking it all out of context because you in the defense and you feel like you being attacked because of the truth that people are talking about because of what you decide to present. I know you didn't probably post that picture intending it to go viral, but that's just how the internet works. We see odd situations and everyone talks about it. Bam, you're viral. That's how the internet goes. We see really crazy, out of the ordinary things and we talk about it. That's how you go viral. But sir, I don't think anyone is reaching to try to make you feel embarrassed, but most definitely I think someone is probably reaching to see a response of, hey, my 33 kids are here and I love them, but if I could have made a better decision, I probably would have decided not to have all these 33 kids. And all you hear a lot of these guys say is, hey, I didn't plan none of my kids. All of my children were accidents. So what that's telling you, ladies, we have to guard our wounds from Pookie, Ray Ray, Tyrone, Dusties like him. And I'm sorry, young brother, I'm not trying to put you down, but I'm talking of your behavior. You don't have to live your whole life and go to the grave being the same man. You have the right to change. And if I ever was to see a video of him saying, hey, this is not the persona I want to put out here to my sons or anybody else's son. What I did is a bad decision and I have been irresponsible with my pen. That could be the response people may be trying to dig out of you, sir. Not embarrassment. Even though the situation is embarrassing, we just want to see some type of accountability, responsibility, response from you. But you didn't give them that. You decided to purport yourself like this on the internet.
None of you hoes out there talking ain't got more money than me. So what you got to say is irrelevant to me. I don't give a. But when it comes to my kids, I'm a ride. You hear me? And for the baby mamas that's embarrassed, I'm sorry that you feel that way. But these my kids, and I don't give a. So if you feel some type of way, that's on you. You take that up with you and God, because I don't give a. And ain't a nigga got anything to say about me or my kids or my mama. You know where I'm at? I'm at 706 right now. I'm in Monroe, Louisiana. I'm finna head back to Texas. I'm getting that mother money, what you should be doing. Because for mine, I'm gonna go. I don't ask you for a motherfucking thing when it comes to my 30. I still live the life I want to live. You out here walking and got J's on your feet. You live with your mama, you live with your. I own my shit. With 30. This my shit. My houses, my cars. I own my shit. With 30. You get like me. Then you can say something about mine. But until then, y'all, I don't even do this. But it's too many of you motherfuckers for me to address every last one of y'all. So I'm gonna put it like this here. You don't take care of Nan George child, keep your mind closed when it comes to Brian kids. Because all of them gonna get taken care of. As long as I got breath in my mother, I'm gonna take care of mine. And I don't give a how nobody else feel about it. You won't take care of me, you don't take care of my kids, you don't do a motherfucking thing. So what you got to say is irrelevant. You ain't got no motherfucking money to sit there. And I meant that. Because I'm gonna do what I wanna do. You hear that? Yeah, bitch. I'm that nigga. Pull out game, mate. Pull out game, man. Weak. I just don't pull out. Or you motherfuckers that want to know, I don't pull out. It ain't weak, motherfucker. I don't pull out.
Oh my God. Did you hear him just say, somebody in the comment section said, man, your pullout game weak as hell. He said, my pullout game ain't weak. I don't pull out. Proudly. He said it with his chest. Proudly. Proud degenerates. That's why they call you Dusty. That's why. Like Pac said, you wonder why they call you B? You wonder why they call you Dusty. And you proudly saying, I don't pull out.
Me, weak, brother. Said talk about my kids. You got 3 or 4 and don't do a motherfucking thing.
No, I'm gonna stop it right there because he right about that. I'm gonna stop because you know how I am. No matter who say it, if the truth is the truth, then I let the truth be the truth. And thank you guys, a couple of guys out there watching. You guys make sure you hit that like button and share it if it's interesting to you. And I just want to say, when a person is right, they right, and when they wrong, they wrong. Because a lot of people commented under that man's picture, talking down on him, and those are probably the same guys who he was just talking about. They got 1, 2, 3, or 4 kids by 4 to 5 different women, and don't do nothing for none of them. So he right about that.
Weak over here. My pockets ain't weak and my soul ain't weak.
Oh my God.
You said
for him, okay, you say you got a lot of money. I think you're a truck driver. He probably do some other stuff on the side too. When you got 30 kids, you need to have as many jobs as the Jamaicans. Shout out to the Jamaicans. Y'all some hard workers. For you to have 33 kids, you got to have a lot of hustles. But he just said his pockets ain't weak and his D not weak. Y'all pump up sex way too much in our community. And that's the sad thing about it. It be a boy, a teenager, 13, 14, 15. He getting teased for being a virgin. He a kid. He's supposed to be a virgin. What you want him to get out here being irresponsible like this man in the video? So by the time he hit 30, he can have 30, 40 kids. Y'all prop up sex. Y'all prop up all the wrong stuff. That's why people call us degenerates. And I'm going to say us too, because I'm in the Black community. But one thing about it, all the degeneracy and all of the mess that we go through, I still love my people. I go through every day getting comments on YouTube, Facebook, and whatnot. Oh, you hate men. You must have ain't got a man. Don't know men want you. No, I was in relationships from the time I was a teenager up into my mid-30s. Then I realized, man, this whole relationship dynamics with us Black men and women is so effed up. I don't really want nothing to do with it anymore. I didn't decide to join the LGBT or nothing. I just decided to be single by myself because I don't want to deal with the freaking dysfunction. And the people who decide to be single are getting shamed. Like I was talking about yesterday when I was saying marriage not a flex. Don't ever let anybody shame you for deciding not to be single. And with us in our community, with 70% of women raising babies by themselves, I don't ever in my face want to hear a man putting down a woman who is a cat lady or who decides to be single, who decides to have the rich auntie life. Come on now. I don't ever want to hear y'all put them down. And our numbers look the way it do. It should be another woman out here want to procreate with these fools out here. We're going to be looking at the women like something wrong with them. We can't even talk about the men no more. Like, what the? It's insane. This is insane. Our community we have made degeneracy normal. We've made it normal. And the people who speak out against it and say, dang, something don't look right. That situation don't look right. We get cussed out. We're the ones that get cussed out. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's very irritating. Like, ugh.
Talking. Ain't got a $1 in your pocket. Ain't got $1 in your pocket.
Honey, you sitting up there flashing that money. That money is so devalued. $1 is worth what? Maybe 45 cents now? The dollar is so depleted. This guy right here, these are your kings, though, Black women. These are the men who you want to replicate their skin color. We want to have us some pretty black babies with some curly hair.
Pocket. I ain't got $1 in your pocket, but you want to talk that. I'm still that with 30. I'm still that 30. I'm still that with 30. You mean? I'm still that. When you get like me, then you come with me.
Man, I wouldn't dare sit up even and have a conversation with this man. And to think all these women had kids by this man. All these women had kids by this man that's acting like a little child. Child, I don't even want that man to pump my gas. I wouldn't take this man to a dog fight. Back in the country where I'm from, Hensley, Arkansas. Shout out to Hensley, Arkansas. It was a lot of dog and chicken fights and stuff. People gather around and watch the dog fight. I wouldn't even take this nigga to a dog fight. Oh, excuse my language. I don't even like to use that word. But I'm sorry, he's acting like one.
That's all I got to say. You will never be me.
And I know, I'm sorry, but I know this man free. I know he's not incarcerated. But why does his background look like a prison cell for like, or either he got kitchen duty? I don't know. It looks like the background of a prison.
Quit trying to run behind because you the same with that don't make you me. It will never make you me. It's only one bride. It'll never make you me, nigga. Yeah. It'll never make you me, nigga. I don't you, so everybody got something to say. But I'm that, I slang from the East Coast to the West.
Oh my God.
Been doing this since I was a little. I ain't embarrassed about it.
Oh my God.
My kids.
He said he's been slinging ping from the East Coast to the West Coast. And he said he is not ashamed of it. You not ashamed of your degeneracy? Like, your kids gonna come to a age where they have complete understanding of what's going on. And they're gonna run across this video. What you gonna say when your child come to you? I was just a fly nigga. Your mama loved me. All your brothers and sister, mama loved me. I was moving and grooving through these streets. And hey, it just happened. That's just how life goes, son. With that being said, with this man not taking any responsibility, it's time for the women to stand up and start guarding their wounds. But it's really sad because they're steady producing children who are not going to have any sense of responsibility either, because they're going to think like they're dead. Man, like-minded people raise like-minded children.
Embarrassed? How you should be embarrassed you staying with your mama, lay with your baby mama? Have you embarrassed you ain't got $1,000 in your pocket? Have you be embarrassed y'all don't even take care of y'all kid, but you want to holler about embarrassed? I see you trash walking around with the wigs on your head, then I see your kids in the dollar store.
Sir, let's not talk about wigs, baby. Hold on now. I heard him say something about some wigs. Let me remind you of something, brother. These is your 9 out of 11 baby mothers right here, brother. These are your baby mothers. How many of them have on wigs? Let's count it, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sir, 8 out of 11 of your baby mothers are wearing wigs. Let's not start this wig conversation. You lay down, pumped and dumped inside of 8 women who wear wigs. Most of y'all guys out here who talk about women with wigs fall in love, lay down, put your peen inside of them with no protection or cover on it, and you have sex with them. When you talk about the women that you lay down with, you are therefore talking about yourself because you submitted in an intimate way to the same thing that you are talking about. Do you know, like, I would not get up here, like, I'm sorry, I just can't get with this generation who get up here and talk about their exes and they talk about their wives and their baby moms and the women that they deal with. You talk about the image of the type of women that you're attracted to. So what does it say about you? When we have a community of 70% of the women raising children by themselves, what does it say about our men? When you look at such a big number of Black women only deal with Black men. I think only 10 to 12% of Black women date out or marry out. So with that big percentage of women that's only dealing with Black men, and 70% of them are becoming single mamas, it's saying something about the men, as well as the women, of course. We can't never leave the women out the equation because the women are there. There's no way they can duck and hide from the equation. Like, even though I wish we could, we can't. The responsibility is on us. And Barbie said, right, wigs don't stop him from making them babies. I promise. Them wigs do not stop that man from making them babies. Not at all. So I'm gonna stop sharing this. I'm gonna get off into the other one because this man here, it ain't no helping. It ain't no helping when it comes to men like this. And this is where this comes in. That big shout out to the Queen Maker. Shout out to the Queen Maker. And it's like when I talk about these subjects, it's always a video that she'll end up making. And I see, and I'll be like, oh, that's a good point to push in my next video. So I wanted to share you guys this. This is the latest video that she did. I don't know if you guys are subscribed to the Queen Maker, but go ahead and subscribe to Princella. She's over on YouTube and she's really, really popular and popping on TikTok as well. And she actually stands up and holds the crown of her name, like the Queen Maker, for real. So let me make sure I'm sharing this before I share it. Okay, there you go. Okay, so this basically is the Queen Maker basically explaining and breaking down the responsibility that us women hold when it comes to this whole dysfunctional equation. I want you guys to listen to this.
Don't understand this either. Some of y'all don't understand this either because y'all are biased. That's a whole circle with two halves. XX, XY. You got a side and it has a side, but the whole truth is 360 degrees. 360. So if I start right here, I can see your side in many different ways. But baby, if I'm gonna tell the whole truth, God damn it, I'm supposed to see this side too. I'm supposed to see this side too. If I travel all the way around the circle, I would see all the sides. What some of y'all want me to do is just stay on this side and do not venture over here. I'm not like a lot of y'all. I don't pick and choose the truth. I just see it from all the angles and I tell it like it is.
And that's exactly what I was talking about when Love Dorsey and Anton James had their interview. That's all I was talking about. I was not hating on Love Dorsey. I told you guys I was listening to her back in 2012, 13, and I still listen to her every now and then when she's talking with some damn sense. But what I was saying is when you're talking about any issue, you do have to talk from both sides. If you want to see the truth, the complete truth, what they say is his side, her side, and then it's the truth. And Love Dorsey just staying on the side of men. That's all I'm saying. She's staying on the side of men. Like women are the only one inside the equation.
Tell it like it is. Y'all don't want to do that. You want to pick a side. I'm on the side of the truth. I'm not on nobody's side. I'm on the side of the truth. And here's the reason why you have to focus mainly on women.
Okay, you guys listen to this very closely. Listen to this.
Because men are only 5% of the responsibility here. 95% on the female. You're placing the pressure on the male, and then you expect something very unrealistic. You expect him to function like a normal person. You expect something very unrealistic. And then you judge things from an unrighteous point of view. Let me tell you something. Unrighteous judgment. Unrighteous judgment is telling half truths. Unrighteous judgment is telling half truths. Some of y'all want me to tell half truths. Why? To stroke your ego.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's why you want.
This is so true because I see, and not trying to attack the manosphere or anything like that, because I believe a lot of the stuff Kevin Samuels used to say was true. And I agree with a lot of the things he said. But I'm going to also say this. Once he started catering to the male audience more, he know what he's dealing with because he's a man and he understands the male ego. So a lot of the topics Kevin used to hit on, he always used to hold back the 100% truth because he understands how fragile the male ego is. And if he ever put out anything on the side of a woman, it's going to go back to how it was before he blew up. He was talking about, talking with men and women, but a lot of the males shifted away from him when he started talking to them about how they need to clean their ass, and they be talking about how they want a woman to be submissive and you don't even wash your balls right. Talk about 100% of the issue if it's going to be talked about.
You want me to tell a half truth. You want me to stroke your ego, right? And not tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Why y'all can't just look at the reality and be like it's a fucked up situation for both of them? And this wouldn't happen if we wouldn't promote a nuclear family. If we wouldn't promote a nuclear family, the male wouldn't be in the house and the woman wouldn't be left without a support system of women who could actually help her when she had a child or when she was sick with cancer. She has the ability to pass that to her child. Who is most likely to be left with the offspring?
Okay, so right now she's measuring out the responsibility when it comes to women and the responsibility when it comes to men. So check this out. So the XX, that's the woman. The XY is the man. Take a close listen to this.
Because see, the male don't have to stick around. Biologically, he don't have to stick around. So tell me, who is most likely to get no, ma'am. S, I want you to answer the question.
Shout out to Lady Sparkle in the chat room. Welcome, welcome.
You want to be able to have sex however you want to have sex, but you don't want to take the risks and responsibility of your decision making. Answer the question, Miss S.
That is facts, because a lot of us women do want to have the fun, lay down, choose whatever guy we want to kick it with. Oh, this don't work out with this guy. Let me get on to another relationship. Okay, he's very flawed. Let me move on to another relationship. Then you look up years later and you're a mother of 4 by 4 different men because you don't want to take the time to really get yourself together and heal. And therefore you'll forever create painful situations, and sometimes it end up being your offspring. Unfortunately, facts. Hey, Bougie Barbie, what's up, everybody? Hey, what's up, Sparkle? And I was just thinking, like, we have to guard our wounds. We got to.
Want to talk about blaming. See, you don't know the difference between blaming and accountability. I'm finna hold you accountable right now. I'm asking a logical and legitimate question right, because you know good and goddamn well what the answer is. And you don't want to take responsibility because you know what the fucking answer is. You know what the answer is. It's you. You the one that's going to be stuck with the child. You too scared to say that. You're too scared to say that.
And it's insane because it's insane that a lot of women really hate to face that fact. Because they're like, it ain't fair. It ain't fair. Well, if you know it's not fair, then baby, let's start moving different. You know it ain't fair. It ain't set up to be fair. Life not fair. Let's move different. That's what I can say. If you know it ain't fair, why not move different? If you know all the responsibility on our side, the XX, versus it being the responsibility of XY. If you know these are the numbers, the crisis and the statistics of the numbers, 70%, that's a big number. It's a huge number. We got to take responsibility. Got to.
Child. So that's 10%. That's 10%, right? Right? At first it was 50-50. At first it was 50-50. But it ain't 50-50 no more now. It ain't 50-50 no more now. It's 70-30. 70%. 30%. So you more likely to be stuck with the child, right? Which means that you're responsible for the child.
Mm-hmm.
That's on you. You more likely to get an STD.
Yep.
Because your organs are open. So who is the one that depends on a yes for sex? See, men, their biological goal, their number one goal is sex. The woman's number one goal is not sex. The number one goal is not sex for women, right?
So you are holding the big amount of the responsibility. Most of all the risk on you. You're the one to catch the STDs the easiest. You're going to be the one left being a single mother. Then you got the 30%. If y'all want to hear this full breakdown, I really like all her videos, but I really like this one. She did this one this past weekend, and it's called Explains How Women Are on Thin Ice. So, yes, you guys check out that full video over there at the Queen Maker High Power Podcast. You guys make sure you go and subscribe to her if you're not already. I wanted to get off into this, so I'm going to stop sharing this one here. You guys make sure you hit that like button. If you ain't hit that like button yet, subscribe to the channel. And I'll most definitely be coming with, I got a video I'm putting together now. I'm getting all of my pieces and different little videos and stuff together so I can present the video married single mothers. That's going to be next week, coming at you for sure. And make sure you hit that notification bell so every time I go live, you will get notified. I'm going to go back over here to TikTok, and I want you guys to listen to this. Okay, this one right here. Oh, hold on. I gotta make sure I'm sharing it first.
Look at their household,
Dumb
because
as
it
fuck.
always fails. If your foundation ain't right, children are the most useless people in a functioning house. They're dependents. They're dependents. You got to make sure your foundation is in order. People say, nah, ain't no man come, but you put your job before your child.
Okay.
Because if you break down the hours you spend at that job versus the hours you spend with your child, you put that job before your child.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to stop
Jonathan
looking
Church.
at it. You got to look at it as a foundation. Your child is the benefit of that foundation. But if you're putting your child above somebody that can only keep that foundation, then you're up.
Amen.
I had to get
Glory.
that.
No. Yes. I'm gonna be here when my son is here. Period.
I was really, really looking at the caption. The caption says, Black men literally tell you to stop birthing them. Yet they got mad at Cynthia G when she actually said that. When she repeated the same thing that they're saying. They basically tell you to stop birthing them. And it made me go back and think about the video that I did. It was like a late night live. I don't think too many people tuned in, but I had probably about 7 people in there, 6 people, something like that. But it was basically speaking on Cynthia G last video when she was like, why do we need black men? She was asking that question. But when you have 70% of y'all out here being single mothers, you got this man up here with 33 kids. And there's another video I wanted you guys to see. I had to make sure it wasn't on O, because y'all know they will lock up your video playing that stuff. I got this off of another page, 7th Letter Studios. You guys go and check that out. I'm going to play a piece from this video here. So let me share this. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys seen it. If y'all watch Ayana Van Zandt, I'm pretty sure you have seen this. This was a very popular viral situation that happened when everything came across the internet about this gentleman. These gentlemen, they had a big amount of kids. I think one of them had like 34 kids, and the other ones had a lot of kids with different women. Take a listen to this.
Daniel. Stand up. How many children?
28.
How many women?
16.
Oh
Terrence.
my God, he got 28 kids with 16 women. Shout out to Kels in the comment section. Y'all make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. This man just said he got 20, did he say 26 kids? Man, this sad. This sad.
4
children with
2 different women.
Yeah. Ryan.
Almost 5 children with 4.
Almost 5.
Yes,
now talk to me about an almost 5.
I have another baby due November 22nd.
So 4 children.
4 children.
How many mothers?
4 different women.
4 different women.
Yes.
And you got a baby on the way. Okay. And John?
6 baby mothers, 11 children.
11 children. And Jumani?
I have 6 children with 4 different women.
4 different women.
Yes, ma'am.
Now here's what I want us to get. That these men collectively have 87 children, that includes Jay, with 50 different women.
Oh my God. Just really quick, let that sink in. 87 children, 50 different women. Is that 130? Oh my God. This is, oof. And they wonder why our community is in shambles. Guard your wounds, ladies. I need to put that on a shirt. Guard your wounds, ladies. and just have a picture of a, you know how all the fruit looks like the inside of a woman yoni. I have a bunch of different fruit on the shirt, and it'll just be like, guard your wounds, ladies. It's sad. Oh my God.
That is 137 people who are impacted by choices and decisions that you've made. No heat, no judgment.
So this right here is just a prime example of her having the guys on stage basically owning up to their responsibility for this 1 hour that the show was going on. After they walk off the stage, the responsibility is put right back down where it was.
Some stats for you. Children who come from fatherless homes. And I say fatherless because 6 men, 87 kids, even if you're there are pieces that are going to be missing.
That's what I say. Even if those men are there, there's still pieces that are going to be missing. It's just way too much.
Would that be accurate? And I'm not saying you're not doing the best you can. I'm not saying that you don't want to be there.
No, you don't have to say none of that. Just get on and tell them the stats of children raised in single mother homes. Tell them the stats, Ayana.
But at this point now, we have to look at the children.
Don't baby these men. Do not baby them. Y'all love to wrap these men and hug them in y'all bosoms and rock them back and forth and back, and rock them and baby them. That's why they got all of this dysfunction going on now. That's why the prisons is filled up with their children right now, because of the coddling. That's why. Y'all sit around and say, oh, them women don't value those men being in them kids' lives. Those men had way too many children to even be a good participant in the kids' lives. Guard your wounds, ladies.
Children's experience. Children from fatherless homes in this country, 5 times more likely to commit suicide than children who have a father in the home. 32 times more likely to run away. 20 times more likely to have a behavioral disorder. 14 times more likely to become sexually aggressive or commit rape. 10 times more likely to engage in drug abuse. It just breaks my heart. No heat, no judgment. You, to me, are the voice and the demonstration that's going to create a healing in this world. We have got to do better. We've got to do better. And what I'm offering is that it's time for brothers to start fathering each other. I want you to repeat and complete this for me, okay? Today,
it's time for them to start fathering each other but Ayana, I understand everything you're saying, and I like the way you're doing it, because you're not setting it up and making it feel like these brothers are getting beat down now. Because once they start feeling like that, their ego gonna start ruffling up and down, and they're gonna completely shut down, and they're not gonna listen to you. So I like the way she presented it. But I can also be honest and say, the coddling has got to stop. The coddling it got to stop, because no one's coddling the woman. You have other women on platforms beating on the heads of other women who are we the ones who bearing the burden. We dealing with the single mother stuff that's leading to everything she just said. We are dealing with all those problems that she just said, not these men. The men are not. The men not dealing with what we got to deal with. It's the women bearing those burdens. It's the children who become in those statistics. And all you want to do is coddle the man and tell him, you're not responsible for this. It's not your fault. Those women need to value those men. No, it starts with these men needing to value fatherhood. Because if any guy, let me tell you this, it takes a man to even value fatherhood before he becomes a father. You got to value it, because when you value fatherhood before you become a father, you're not going to be out here being reckless. You're not finna be reckless with your peen. First of all, it's gonna take for these guys to have self-esteem too. Because the way a lot of the men move, they ain't got no self-esteem either. Let me hear what she said. I don't want to play too much of this. You know, this but it's on somebody else's channel. So this is fair use. Fair use.
Struggling.
I'm struggling. I am struggling.
Between boyhood and manhood.
Between boyhood and manhood.
And that makes me feel, look at me.
I mean, at times helpless.
Okay, and that makes me feel helpless. Okay, take a breath.
Oh, man, I ain't even gonna let my heart go out to that brother. Because you know what? He could have been a product of a single mother home too. He could have been a product of his daddy was broken, just like he is. And his mother could have been broken like him. And they created a broken child. Because that's what broken people do. And I don't care, even if you guys decide to get married, there's married people out here who are also creating broken children too. The statistics of different stuff is different, but it still depends on who is that mother and who is that father raising that child in that two-parent home. Because there's a lot of crappy kids coming out of two-parent homes because you will have a daddy on the other side of town with 2-3 other families and side pieces. Plus he got to work. So you have the mother who's still married, but they still like single mothers. That's why I'm gonna do a show on that next week.
Do I need to come closer to you?
I mean, Mama,
okay, no. Really, you are it, baby. Come on.
She said he was about to cry, so she about to embrace him. Watch this, how Ayana do it. She finna embrace him in her bosom and rock him back and forth.
Hello. I want you to get behind him. I want you to get behind him. Turn around.
I am as well, but I bet you, I don't know for sure, I'm gonna look it up, but I wonder, is Ayana a boy mom? Because she seems to have that really soft spot for degenerate men for some reason.
Turn around. I want you to back him up. I want him to know that you got his back.
Sure.
I'm a father of 28 children. Repeat that for me.
I'm a father of 28 children.
And I wake up every day.
And I wake up every day.
And I feel.
And I feel.
You can do this.
Own your emptiness, brother. When you wake up every morning, you feel empty.
When I think about my 11 children, repeat that. When I think
about my 11 children, I feel helpless. I'm full of shame and guilt. I'm bitter. You know.
Let me talk to you as a woman, as a single mother. Mm-hmm. I gave you the most intimate.
You see, when he said that, all of the women in the audience started crying. Because we feel that brother. We feel that brother. And I know this don't have nothing to do with the video, but I'm going to say this real quick. You brothers over there on the podcast, watch what you say about these black women. Don't you see these are the black women, no matter how bad you treat them? 70% of us have became single mothers bearing y'all child, putting our life at risk. We loving you no matter what the consequences are. These women love you, man. When y'all sit up on these podcasts and prop up other women over them, tell them how ugly they are, how they can't grow hair, how all them manly and all the stuff you say in public about us, that hurts these women. It don't hurt me because I know most of y'all ain't shit. But these women right here love y'all, man. Y'all got to start treating these women better. The numbers with our community so effed up. We got to do better with each other. These women just seeing how hurt these men are. Even though these men have abandoned women, left them single mothers, they still got a soft spot in their heart for y'all. Y'all still can't love them.
Part of who I am as a woman. I opened my soul to you when I allowed you to lay with me, and I trusted you.
Look at the tears on that sister. She just thought about her baby daddy when Ayana just said that, man, that girl thought about her baby father. I can see that hurt in your eyes. It's like she talking straight to her. And I don't know if you guys were was brought up in the church or whatever. But man, when the pastor sitting there preaching and he say something about what you going through, you will just sit there and start waving your hands and crying because that spirit hit you, because you like, dang, is he talking to me? He seems like he know what I'm going through. This man been looking through my window. No, it says spirit speaking to you because she know what you're going through. Ayana was a single mother too.
I trusted you. I trusted that you would be there. I trusted that you were the promise that my daddy never gave me. I trusted you with my soul, with my body, with my being. I trusted you.
And you hear what she said when she said what my daddy never gave me? And that's a big void that little girls go through when they're raised in a home with an absent father. Even if that man was married to her mother and that they were co-parenting, he had her on the weekends, the mother with her 5 days a week. There's still points in that child life where she need her daddy every day. Women go out here looking for the love of their daddy through a Pookie, Dusty, Ray Ray. And that's what happened. She become a broken single mother.
And you left me. And not only did you leave me, but you left me here with this child. Just like you don't know who you are, I don't know who I am. And now I've got a child.
Thank you. And that is the instance of these broken homes. These men that's running up in the women, they don't know who they are. And the women who are laying down, allowing the men to run up in them, they don't know who they are. You have two people having reckless intercourse, creating lives, creating whole lives. And you know, I didn't meet my second baby father until, you know, after my first one was passed away for a couple of years. My kids like 5 years apart. But when I met my second son father, and we were in our relationship and everything, we living together, being parents and being together. Once that didn't work out and I had to go my separate way, I said, I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing this again. Because you always hear people say only an insane person will continue to do the same thing but expect different results. I was not going to sit down and continue to procreate with other guys in other relationships. I was not going to do it. But you have women who still believe I can find that love. Damn it, I'm going to find the love that my daddy never gave to me. I'm determined to find it. Whenever you hear females say, I need somebody to love me, that's the love that they're missing, that love that never came from their daddy. And some women have daddies in their life that still don't show them the proper love. Those girls are broken too. So in our community, instead of saying, hey, we need to prop up two-parent homes, no, we need to prop up two healthy parents. And two healthy parents have to first be healthy people before they create the child and become a healthy parent. We can't get two broken people together and just be like, oh, that's a mommy and a daddy. They together. Yep, it's all good. No, let's promote people being healthy. Stop promoting toxic relationships. We in our communities on the internet, especially the Black community, Black sector on the internet, you go to any of these blog sites, all they promote is sex, women twerking, guys all out with each other, tatted up with their shirts on. Just the degenerate stuff is always what we promote. We got to stop the promotion of that if we want to see better. We have to be better people before we can see anything better.
And I've got to figure it out. And you tell me that you get to go off and figure it out and have other women?
That's damn right. That's exactly what they do. And yes, it makes us upset when you just move and mosey right along. Like I seen, well, shout out to Corey Holcomb. I don't have anything against the brother, but I remember when him and his daughter were at odds and they were kind of going back and forth over the internet. I remember when he said, F that B. He said this to his daughter. He said, F that B. I can go make another child. When men have that mentality, that's how so many broken homes are created. created with that mentality, I could just go make another child. F you. And hopefully Corey and his daughter settled their odds. I remember Tasha K was trying to get in the middle of that. I'm glad the young lady didn't interview with Tasha. That would have been a very bad interview if I say so myself. But I probably would have did commentary on it, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm glad she didn't sit down with Tasha. I'm really glad she didn't. And I'm glad, I think they did make up. But that mentality is why it's such a big number of broken homes. This brother right here with the 26 kids and I think it's 16 women, I believe that's what the brother said. He had the attitude, oh, I'll just go make another one. I don't know if he had relationships with all 16. Like, how can you have 16 relationships? I don't know.
And I'm here with your child. I don't get to go figure it out. That's where she is.
All of them, though? Even the ones that we weren't in relationship with?
See, you see how they think? They think the children who they want in relationships like that doesn't really even count. Yes, that does count because those are still children, even though you weren't in a relationship with their mother, those are still children that's over there without a dad in their life. So yes, that counts. That counts. I mean, even when it comes to, and I'm gonna use this as a good example, even when it comes to the man and the woman who decided to get married, and marriages of what, don't 60-some% of divorces in divorce. So that's why I always say a woman needs to be prepared to be a single mother. Because you marrying before you carry, that's not going to stop you from being a single mother. That's not going to stop you. The only thing that's going to stop you is if you decide not to have kids.
Promise. I opened myself to you. I gave you all of who I am. And you get to go off and find yourself with other women. And I'm left here with your child. What do you say to her? Say it to me. 2 words. 2 words. Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me.
Forgive me.
Forgive me. What am I forgiving you for? Forgive me for
not being your promise.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
And I remember that child was so young man. Well, they weren't that young. Hold on. Okay, so let me stop that because I don't want them to say I'm trying to copyright nothing with them. And this is all rights, fair use, fair use. So I wanted to show that it is basically Ayana, trying her best to what she know how to hold the single fathers accountable who created the single mothers. So she was trying to, I guess hold them accountable or whatnot. But one thing about it, if they ain't gonna hold accountability, we have to hold it. And we have to hold it in our wounds. And to be honest, I believe it could be actually now happening as we speak. I'm gonna get off into these numbers here, and it's basically speaking on, the next generation of women. I believe they are actually making better decisions, perhaps. Let me read this, and this is I think this was like created in December of 2022. And this is some information about the birth rate. It's actually saying the long-term decline of fertility. And what does it mean? Okay, so I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with the push of the AI. The AI is actually preparing for the drop, and the drop is currently happening. It's saying general fertility rates decline across the states. The line chart shows the general fertility rate of 50 states. The District of Columbia, okay, so this is DC. So in DC, in the United States as a whole, all show downward trend from 1990 to the year 2000. So that's over a 10-year span. The maximum is 95.7. That's in Utah. And the minimum is 44.7. That's in Vermont. This was, I guess, tallied up from the census. So it's actually saying that the birth rate is down. Let me see, what else does it say? Let's see. Okay, it's saying, why is America fertility rate so low? So actually, I'm guessing the up and coming generation, they are looking at some of the mistakes we made, and they're doing better. It looks like what they say, choose better. So these women, version of choosing better is not birthing y'all babies. So it's saying why America fertility rate is so low. Fewer people are getting married. That's a big reason. I would really I would really be honest to say I'm not surprised looking at how pitiful and degenerate a lot of marriages are. There are a lot of dusty marriages out here now. People don't hold the marriage to esteem that they used to. On the show yesterday I did about marriage not being a flex. You guys check that video out. There was a man on there, I think it was Jerome. He had one wife and 4 concubines living with him. So he had 4 whole women. People don't value marriage anymore. So I could understand why marriage is going down. It says currently about 2 million marriages take place every year, as opposed to 2.5 million in the early 1980s. So that's around the time I was born. My parents got divorced when I was about 3. That was at about 84. Yeah, it was a real big influx of divorces then. I think it's probably because women were getting better jobs and different stuff like that. You guys know, once it gets to a point where women start making a lot of money, a lot of them do decide to be single. So in the early 80s, yeah, about 2.5 million people were actually, getting married or whatever. Almost half of Americans aren't living with a spouse, but most people would prefer to have children within a marriage. So I guess that could be a key pointer of why. A lot of people want to get married, but they probably can't find no good mate. I'm pretty sure they can't. With everything that's being promoted to us and how the current people are the mindset of people is just mind-boggling to me. Even when it comes to, even at the times where I feel like, well, you know what, I think I'm going to try to date. And then you'll talk to one of these fools and you instantly get turned off. I mean, these guys will have your punani as dry as the Sahara Desert. I mean, it's mind-boggling the amount of women who have had babies with some of these guys, some of the stuff that they say. Like, did you just really say that, sir? Oh my God. I can understand why marriage at an all-time low. It's a lot of women out here that might not be, they say, wife material, but it's a whole lot of men out here that showing the hell ain't husband material either. So it could go on both sides. So yeah, that was a statistic that they did in October 2023. They said a big reason why the birth rate could be on the decline because a lot of people ain't getting married. More people want to be married, and that's why they want to be married. They want to be married because they don't want to be no single mother. So they are practicing selective breeding. But let me tell you the downside of it. And a person to be like, the downside of selective breeding here, you won't be a single mother. What you mean? But let's see, I think marriage is becoming extinct. It doesn't work for men or women anymore. Nope, you are so right about that, Bougie Barbie. And that's why I love having you as a moderator. Because what she just said made a really good point. And just to be honest, When it comes to the compromising that men and women have to do when they are in a relationship together, neither one of them are going to be happy. Everything that the woman wants the man to do, and I heard the Queen Maker say this, I just can't think of the video she said it in. But everything that the man wants the woman to do is basically like slavery. Everything that the woman wants a man to do, she's basically want him to be in his feminine era, in his feminine space. So both the man and the woman have to hugely compromise just to be happy together. It's basically like men and women were not meant to be together. And that's why you always see such a insane amount of things that happen. I mean, I remember earlier in my channels, I used to do a lot of the news stories and whatnot, but you see it in the news every day, the femicide rate. I mean, the crazy percentage that us black women are being taken out by our black men is insane. It's just like everything. The man and the woman really not meant to be together. That's why we got to bring back the village. You bring back the village that raised children. We bring that back and have a good, decent, trustworthy support circle instead of just putting the man with the woman in the house with the kids. This is not natural. We got to go back to the way nature meant things to be. And if you look back in the matriarchic state, where there were people in the neighborhood that could check your children. Children thought, we actually thought before we did. Children now are impulsive because they have no consequences. The impulsiveness comes from no consequences. Like, all the way. And it's just like, how can you all expect for anything to change with the mindset of men, anything to change with the mindset of a woman, when nobody is willing to accept the consequences of what's happening? Men don't want to take responsibility, women don't want to take responsibility. It's up to the women to do it. We are the ones who are actually able to do it. I just wish y'all would really watch the Queen Maker when she breaking down the whole nature of a man. And when y'all watch that, y'all will understand. I find that video, I'll most definitely drop it down in the comment section when she talking about the nature of a man. Because I'm going to be honest, and not in promotion of anything. I'm not trying to push nobody to be single. I ain't trying to push you to be gay. None of that, none of that, none of that. But once most women sincerely see the true nature of a man, you most definitely won't want to have his children. And you most definitely not going to even want to probably even be with him. Like, when you hear that nature, you're going to be like, oh, I cannot do this. Oh, no. I can't do this. I can't do this. And I really want to send a shout out just really, really quick to a lot of the millennials, because a lot of the millennials are breaking the curses that we have. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the millennials look at the situations that their parents have and they're like, I do not want that to be me. So here it says millennials are having less babies. Millennials aren't having less babies. Many of the kids from the previous generation, in effect, could end up dragging down the economy growth in decades. See, that's what they're thinking about. They just look at people like we're slaves. So whenever they see society not producing kids, that's why they went and created the AI stuff. Because they know from, as a matter of fact, this is the video that I'm going to drop down in the comment section from the Queen Maker is when she did the whole breakdown of the Universe 21 and the vanishing of the Black family. That whole Universe 25, that experiment they did with them rats, that is exactly what's going on with our community right now. That's exactly what's going on in our community right now. It's a pretty long video, so I don't want to tease y'all with a little bit because y'all gonna be like, dang, I want to finish watching this. And I respect all the YouTubers. I don't want to just sit and just play their videos and stuff like that, because you guys can go over there and get in those watch hours and views and stuff like that, so they can make their money. But the Universe 25, that experiment, this is what we're dealing with now, because in that experiment, it all started out with 4 rats, and it ended up with a whole plethora of rats. And what happened, they all ended up like purging. I think it started out with 4 rats, and then at the end, it was like 2,000 and something. So they like inbreeded and everything. I mean, it was crazy. Let me see if I can find just a small video talking about it, because the Universe 25, when I say that is the Black community, and we're living with the results currently, right now, we're living with the results of Universe 25 experiment. We living with them results right now. And what happened towards the end, I can remember this. And what happened towards the end is that all of the female mice stop even having sex with the male mice. And everybody got violent. It was women killing their kids, and the men were trying to R-word they was trying to grape the other female mice, and it was crazy. And like you see stuff in the news today. A man ended up taking a woman from Earth out there in Brooklyn because she wouldn't give him his number. I mean, you see it. Men killing women because they won't give them their number. Taking women away from Earth because they won't give them their number. It's Universe 25 all starting over. And just putting out, because you know I'm all about being honest, another downside to hold on, I'm not trying to share that. Another downside to selective breeding, and I'm just being honest with you, a downside to selective breeding is it's gonna most definitely make the numbers drop even more. And we already have low numbers. It's gonna make the numbers of the Black men, especially Black men, y'all numbers gonna severely drop. And let me tell you, it's gonna drop because of the big reason it's gonna drop is because a lot of women gonna stop carrying your babies, and even probably like the Black men or the Black women who date outside of their race, they're gonna procreate children who are not gonna check Black in that box. Let's be 100. Those kids that y'all are procreating that are mixed race, they're gonna be checking the other side when it comes to the paperwork. So this selective breeding is most definitely gonna make our numbers low, but it's gonna selective breeding creates a better breed of people. There's gonna be a better breed of people made because people are choosing better. But one thing women still got to realize, another, and I'm gonna say this may be another downside to it. When you start selectively breeding, baby, you gotta be healed. You gotta love yourself, and you gotta be happy with yourself. You most definitely got to be happy with yourself, because, baby, more than likely you're gonna be single, because there's more bad ones out here than good ones. And I just think a lot of men and women both. I mean, you got to be happy with being by yourself. Like, you hear people like, "Oh, I don't want to be by myself." So you want to take your brokenness and all of your dysfunction. You want to take all of that to somebody else and put it in their hands to deal with. That's not right. You guys got to be willing to put in the work to heal yourself. You have to be willing to put that work in. And to be honest, I mean, a lot of people are not willing to do it. There's so many people out here, they just stay in relationship after relationship after relationship, so they won't have to deal with themselves. And I mean, it's not fair to the other person because sometimes you meet good people who are good mates, but if you meet them and you're not in a healed state, you're gonna ruin you. I mean, that person not gonna let you ruin them. So you're just gonna get with a what's this? You're gonna get with a good person, and you're gonna be in a situation where you're gonna run them off. I mean, why not heal yourself? Why not heal yourself first? You know why? Because some people don't want to put the work in. Some people don't want to put the work in. We got to be willing to put the work in with ourselves. Selective breeding is something that's gonna clean up. It's gonna what they say. It's gonna thin the herd, as I would say. It's gonna thin the herd, but most definitely at the end, it's gonna be much better. It's gonna be much better because hold on, if I can find this. Hold on. Okay, I found the video. I remember it was part two. And this the title of this video. Y'all make sure y'all check out the Queen Maker if y'all have not. Hit that like button too. Okay, black women choosing welfare. Okay, so this whole welfare situation, it actually was. Let me see if I can find what she was talking about. Hold on. Okay, listen to this, just a sneak peek of it. But I'm most definitely gonna make a copy of this link and I'm gonna drop it down in the comment section because y'all want to see this whole video. Y'all don't want to skip on this. Y'all want to get this knowledge of this. Yeah, you hear that? You hear what they just said? You got some women out there in them projects because this is the Vanishing Blake family. This is the video that she's talking about. Some of the women out there in them projects had 9, 10 kids by 9 different dudes. That's what I was just talking about. That's why I was like, let me find this video. Because she was talking about the same exact thing I was just talking about. Okay. This is what I was telling you guys about. So I got 2 videos that I'm gonna drop in the comment section. Y'all make sure y'all come back to this video so y'all can watch those videos. Cause I mean, if I was to watch the Vanishing Black family and break it all the way down, that video would be probably about 3-4 hours long. And I'd be thinking, I don't know if I can hold a crowd for 3-4 hours, but the Queen Maker most definitely can. But I can do it. I can do it. But listen to this. Yeah. So most definitely, y'all, that's a jewel right there because a lot of people don't know where the term hood rat came from. You just think it's some girl that got ghetto tendencies that wear hair weave and tight shorts like Sexy Red. No, the term hood and Sexy Red got a song called Hood Rats. But this is where the term hood rat come from, right here. So this is the Universe 25. And you know what, you guys, I'm gonna do a documentary, and it's gonna start next week. Just speaking about the Universe 25, but I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna have to break it down over maybe a count of 3 segments. Part 1, 2, 3. Listen to this.
Even if we have lacked the will or ability to distribute it to those that need it. But while everyone was worried about a lack of resources, one behavioral researcher in the 1970s sought to answer a different question. What happens to society if all our appetites are catered for and all our needs are met?
See, and that was the foundation of the Universe 25. That's why it's so closely compared to the welfare system. What happens when you build up a project like this, just like the housing projects, Universe 25, basically? What happens when you put a big amount of people in this place and you give them the welfare checks and everything they need? You give them the free Medicaid and the welfare checks and the SSI checks, and you get them everything they need. What is going to happen? That's basically what they did. They performed this whole experiment on rats first, then they did it on the people.
The answer, according to his study, was an awful lot of cannibalism, shortly followed by an apocalypse. John B. Calhoun set about creating a series of experiments that would essentially cater to the every need of rodents. When you listen to men talk, hold on. I'm gonna let them say it for you. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Let me turn this off real quick. Reset my. I don't know what the hell happened there. I don't know what happened there. But okay. Y'all can hear me? Okay. All right. I'm gonna play this. Listen to this. This is Cam Newton talking.
Hold on, just listen to.
Okay, you can hear me
to
now.
this.
All right. Oh, Priscilla got an agenda. Baby girl, I don't want you to think that Priscilla wants you. Please don't think that I want to stop you from being a slave. Baby girl, I want you to cater to every
household, my mom, my father, and my grandmother. And I knew what a woman was, not a bad bitch.
Okay, what's the difference?
A woman.
Okay.
A bad bitch is a person who's just, girl, I'm a bad bitch. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part.
Okay.
And it's a lot of women who are bad bitches. And I say bitches in a way, not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic of what they deem is a boss chick. Now, a woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs.
Now, he just told you the fucking truth. He just told you the fucking truth about what men think, right? And what men want, which is to cater to their needs, right? Oh, Priscilla got an agenda. Baby girl, I don't want you to think that Priscilla wants.
In the dynamic, to sum that up, in the dynamic of women being with men, you're going to have to sacrifice yourself way too much. Women are always going to have to be on the sacrificing end when it comes to these relationships. One thing about a man, what people always say, oh, it's all about the man money. He can go and make more money. He can take his money to other women. But when you are in a relationship with a man, you are allowing him to suck all your energy. Your whole point in existence in that relationship is to satisfy him and meet his needs. I don't know if any of you ladies ever set up in a barbershop when you took your sons to get their haircut or whatnot, but I used to actually work at a barbershop for about 2-3 years. But I used to listen to those men, and it's like when a woman is around, they have these conversations. They talk about, oh, a man don't want a woman that does this, and a man don't want a woman that do this, and if you want to make a man happy, you got to do this, and that. I used to be thinking in the back of my mind, like, who gives a damn what you want? Like, I don't care. And maybe that's probably why I never been married, but I sure in the hell ain't mad because I look at, I'm sorry, shout out to all my married women, but I'm going to say this. I look at some of the married women who are my age, the ones who decided to I graduated in 99. The ones who got right out of high school, became a wife, all that full-time stuff, they look old. Like, how are you and I the same age and you looking like you 51, but I'm still looking like I'm maybe 33, but I'm 43. Like, what the? And this is what y'all wave y'all rings in other women's faces and try to have a one-up on a single woman because you are the one who supposedly got chose, but the woman who got chose looks stressed out. If this is what being chose looks like, I don't want it. I swear, I don't want it. Some of these women talk about being chose, and you get married and you still end up single mothers. A lot of the married women still end up single mothers. A lot of the women who are actually married are married single mothers. But that's another show for another time, and I'm most definitely going to be coming with that show next week. Yeah, I got a little meeting to be at very shortly and everything. It was one little thing I was hoping I wasn't missing though. So let me go back through here and make sure I play everything that I said I was gonna play. Okay, that's the one about the 33-year-old guy with the 33 kids. Okay, that was the Queen Maker. I'm gonna drop that link down in the comment section about Universe 25. I gotta drop that in the comment section for sure. I don't want to miss that. But if I can, let me see if I can go back to this, because I feel like this is the most important thing that especially like women need to keep in mind. This is the most important thing to me. Okay. Okay. Let me play this one more time. Let me get it back. Okay. Okay, this is what I want before I bail up out of here. I want a child to see this just in case somebody jumped out and probably missed it or just showing back up. Y'all make sure you hit the like button. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, most definitely. I really want to get this point across because I know, and I'm gonna be honest to say this, I see a lot of people on podcasts. What Richard Pryor say, when you have a mic, damn it, you got a responsibility. If you sitting in front of a mic, you have a responsibility. And when he say you got a responsibility, you got a responsibility to feed your people the truth, not half truths, the whole truth, not half, not a quarter, not a third, like the whole. Listen to what she has to say.
Children who come from fatherless homes. And I say fatherless because 6 men, 87 kids, even if you're there are pieces that are going to be missing. Would that be accurate? And I'm not saying you're not doing the best you can. I'm not saying that you don't want to be there. But at this point now, we have to look at the children's experience. Children from fatherless homes in this country, 5 times more likely to commit suicide than children who have a father in the home. 32 times more likely to run away. 20 times more likely to have a behavioral disorder. 14 times more likely to become sexually aggressive or commit rape. 10 times more likely to engage in drug abuse. It just breaks my heart. No heat, no judgment.
Man, we got to have heat and we need to have judgment. When those are the statistics of what we are creating as a community, we need to have heat up under everybody's ass, and we need to have judgment. This is about our future. We need judgment. We can't run around here coddling people that do this, and that's on the man and the woman's side. You know, in the situation, the woman hold the responsibility, and we gotta hold the responsibility with our wounds, with the decisions that we make if you decide to deal with these men. Once you learn, and like I said, I'm gonna find that video of Priscilla when she's breaking down the nature of a man. And when you learn the nature of them, you ain't gonna want to deal with them. I'm sorry. I really could see in the next 10 years a lot of women most definitely turning lesbian. We already have 65% of men are lonely. I did a video about that back in October. It's a big influx of lonely men. It could be, and you know what? And I said that's a whole nother show in itself, and I'm gonna have to write that down. The delusion that the internet has caused too. The internet holds a lot of fault in the delusion that we dealing with this dysfunction. You got people on these little AI pictures, and some people pulling up these so-called AI pictures that's supposed to be them that don't look nothing like them. It look like you at the age of 13, and they're like, oh yes, this is me. No, that's not you. So I fault the internet as well. You got these people seeing this delusion of a picture of the AI, and they are actually making it their profile pictures. You can't tell me delusion is not ruining our society. And the delusion is coming from the internet. It's issues coming from the internet that's causing this delusion. Delusional people who actually deciding to get together, have sex, and procreate children, and y'all wonder why the numbers are like it is. The numbers are horrible, and like shout out to the Queen Maker, like she was saying in the video when she was talking about the whole experiment that they did with the rats. We are now headed towards the end of the experiment, but we're people. We're not rats. That show you how they discard us. They do a whole experiment on a rat and was like, yeah, we're gonna push this on the Black community. But you know what? They never really thought about it fully. Because that's one thing about it. When you have a patriotic system that has been built up for the detriment of our community, they didn't think about how it's gonna seep into their community too. Now we have more people procreating with other people, other races, other nationalities, and the whole degeneracy is seeking over into other people races too. There's a larger amount over the past maybe 10 to 20 years, there's a larger amount of other races who are single mothers too. It's all seeping into other communities, but it starts with the Black people because we are the canary in the coal mine. We are what they call, the people who are at the bottom of the barrel. First you got the white man, then you got the Asian, Hispanic, and then the Black people up under there. We're at the bottom. And then it's like we're in a position where we've been at the bottom for so long, we feel like that's where we're supposed to be at. But no, we're not. When you hear people say, oh, we were once kings and queens, we should feel ashamed for you not to carry yourself like a king or a queen. But at the end of the day, it takes a person to rise and carry themselves in their higher self. Before you can think higher, you got to do meditation. You got to put in the work. I got into the spiritual world in 2016. I put in the work. I went through the fire, and I was willing to do that because I knew when I came out, I knew spiritually and mentally, internally, I was going to be a better person. You got to be able to put that into yourself. And like I said before, we become good, responsible, healthy parents. We have to first be a good, healthy, responsible adult first, like before we even make the kids. And a lot of us are getting this information, after we're mothers. A lot of us are listening to this, and I'm currently a single mother speaking it. So it's like, we think about, damn, we had so much knowledge that we could have got. But, we didn't have the internet world then, but we have it now. And like I said, looking at the numbers, it's a big amount, really, really huge amount of millennials that are just opting out. They're like, hey, I don't want no baby by no Dusty. Them millennials, they smart. I ain't even gonna lie. A lot of them are seeing the shabbiness of our economy, and they're deciding, hey, I need to get some side hustles. I don't want to deal with this single mother stuff. I don't want to be a single mama. Like I remember going to Paul Mitchell Cosmetology School, and I was talking to a girl, and I know she was talking about, I think she was discussing her boyfriend or whatever. And I was like, oh, how long y'all been together? And I think she said, and I was like, oh, girl, when you having this baby? Girl, I'm talking like them old women used to talk to me back in the days. I asked the young lady when she having this baby. They had been together for a while. And she was like, girl, I'm not gonna have no baby father. I said, he gonna be my husband before I get pregnant with his child. I promise that girl said that. I still follow her on Facebook today. She still ain't had no baby. So I'm just guessing, you know, she decided, hey, until I become a wife, that's when I'm gonna become a mom. Like I said, you have kids, women, just be prepared to, you know, sometimes you're gonna have to raise that baby by yourself, sadly. Sadly, it's gonna be like that. Let me see what this one's saying. I don't want to miss out on anything before I get out of here. Let me.
I guess it's good I've never really put too much stock into other people's ethics because I would bring up celebrities and athletes, hell, even sperm banks. Do you not go there and pick based off a certain set of attributes so that you can come up with an overall goal of a healthy child to fit whatever description it is that you had sort of in your head? Yeah, I absolutely had a goal in mind. When I wanted to have children, I wanted them to be beautiful. I wanted them to be healthy. I wanted them to be smart. So the person that I was picking in order to have my children with needed to have certain sets of attributes. I don't care if that makes me unethical. We've been together 19 years, going on 20 years. What's unethical about deciding that you want to have healthy children? Like, I don't get it. Whatever. Anyway, we're just going to have to agree to disagree because I would argue that, again, unless it's a one-night stand, I would hope that people are trying to be selective in who they breed with.
Thank you. Oh, my God. And I don't even know who that man is. I couldn't tell you to follow him. I don't know his name. But what he just said, he made a lot of sense. Why wouldn't it not be an ethical thing to procreate with the people you think you're going to have the best, healthiest children with? So, ladies, when you meet that guy and you see his uncle a drunk, his uncle's a drug addict, the dad is a two-bit street hustler that been in and out the penitentiary, brothers about nothing. I mean, he sits around his mom's house and play the game, ain't got a job. When he do go for an interview for a job, he'd be like, shoot, they told me I gotta do this and that. I ain't trying to do all that. Them jobs want you to do too much. So, ladies, when you see a man like that, and you see the lineage of what you've seen after you met his family, why would you want to procreate with him? Because he got good peen? I mean, and we got to stop looking at stuff from such lustful eyes. Most definitely, if you look at things without lustful eyes, you're going to start making different decisions. You're going to make better decisions too. You're going to make much better decisions when you're not looking at everything in a lustful way. Like, oh, he cute. Oh, girl, oh, girl, he was so cute. I like his legs. Like that girl said. Let me find it. Like that girl said in the Vanishing Black Family, when the man was interviewing a young lady, and he said, "What did you like about him when you ended up meeting him? What is it that you like?" And and she said, "I like his legs." And I was like, "Oh, she just looking like she was just lusting." And you ended up a baby mother because you was just lusting over him. She was probably thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna have me a beautiful chocolate baby, and my baby gonna be bow-legged just like her daddy." Let me see, Vanishing Black Family. That's exactly what that young lady was thinking, and we have to stop thinking in the thought of the lust. We got to stop moving in lust. The lust is what's gonna, man, your lust gonna perish. That's what's gonna cause you to perish. We got to stop moving in lust. Let me see if I can find that part. I ended up finding the video here. Now, the video I said it'll take me about 3 hours to break it down because the video itself, let me see if I can find the, it's like a news and a film channel. They do different documentaries. Hold on. Okay, let me make sure I'm sharing this. This is the vanishing of Black families. So this is the one I said I'm going to drop in the comment section along with the Queen Maker video. So at the end, you guys, if you want to come back and comment under the video and check out those links that I'm going to leave, because I want you guys to check it out so you can see everything. Okay.
About holding up, finding enough sex, my man. You know, if a girl, you know, she get having a baby, carrying a baby, hey, that's on her. You know, I'm not gonna stop my pleasures because of another woman.
Do you hear what he said? If that woman want to lay down and have that baby, that's on her. And Bougie Barber said it costs too much. Yeah, it costs too much to have babies. They in this struggling economy. The economy's struggling. And people want to steady have babies. Then you got people like Tim who said, hey, I'm not going to stop my pledges. I'm not finna stop my pledges. If she want to have a baby, that's on her.
What about birth control? What about condoms? Girls don't like them things. They don't like them things. They'll tell you to take them things off. They figure that you saying that they filthy or they dirty or something. It's been a startling change.
At the end of the day, he don't like condoms either. But he not lying. A lot of the girls don't. But not me. Honey, you will wrap it up quick with me. Like, And like I seen somebody else say in the other comments, they was like, anybody that's going around just having unprotected sex like that, you see these men with all these kids, you like, that man, he have a lot of reckless sex without any protection. That man is a liability. That's disgusting. But he's not lying. A lot of them women don't like condoms. And they be like, you must don't trust me. I seen the whole guy on a podcast talking about when I'm kicking it with a girl, he talking about, don't get me wrong, we do got to use condoms, but when I'm kicking it with a girl and she hand me a condom, I'm going to think she do that with everybody. Don't you want her to do that? What, you just want her to be the woman walking around just laying down willy-nilly, not making guys use rubbers? And he talking about, I'm going to feel like I ain't special. See, that's their ego talking right there. That's why I say when a lot of women learn the nature of a man and you learn that they ran and controlled by ego, you're going to look at stuff in a whole different way.
In values. 25 years ago, you would not have heard such things said so freely because they were not embraced so widely. The strong family was still the backbone of Black America, and 3 out of 4 children had both parents. Drug charges. He was brought up in Newark by his mother.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Every time I try to do a documentary and Tim get to talking, I always get upset. But you know, Tim is just no different than the guys of today, the Dusties of today. Tim was just the Dusty back in the late 80s. I would love to see how his life came. I mean, you know, not that I'm so excited, but I would like to see how it turned out for him. Take a listen to what Tim has to say.
16 when Timothy was born. His father has another family in another city. Timothy has a talent for drawing, which he has never developed. He dropped out of high school at 16 and spent 2 years in the Job Corps. He was 23 when he and Alice had their first child. Timothy does not support any of his children. How many children do you have? 6.
Look at the big smile on his face. That big smile tells it all. He takes pride into being able to lay down with all of those women. That's what he's looking at it like. Like, yeah, my sperm don't miss. Look at that smile.
With those 6 children by 4 women. He also had 2 more children by 2 other women, but one died in infancy and the other was aborted. We asked him about the birth of his first surviving child.
It's kind of a funny experience because, like, me and the girl was just messing around, right? And she was going with somebody else. She used to be an old girlfriend of mine. She managed to get popped up by me.
Okay, that's the second baby. The third was?
Mustafa. He was the third.
That was by another lady?
Mm-hmm. Mrs. Ward. Yes, I go see him every now and then.
How old is he now?
He's 505, if I'm not mistaken. 50481.
And then the fourth one was.
And look at Tim. Tim, all you have is 6 kids, baby. You can't even remember the ages. He looking like he just trying so hard to remember. How old is that boy? Dang, he looked like he was about to say, hold on, let me call his mama and see. That's a shame.
Simone, I only saw her twice. 2 times.
What happened to her?
So one of his daughters, I believe, is being raised by the mother's boyfriend. He said that particular daughter, he only seen her twice.
It's a family problem. You know, the father don't want me to see the mother and all that. You know, so I got tired of running behind her and found me someone else. I didn't have to sweat it because I guess the father was taking care of them anyway.
Yeah,
so.
see, he was happy somebody else was able to get his responsibility. He was like, I didn't have to sweat her. You know, daddy was taking care of her.
How does it feel to have those
women?
No, kids.
Kids. Well, you get to see, if it ain't one thing you've done, you like artwork, for instance. You look at your art, you say, this is something that I've done. Just like the carpenter, it's something that you've done. You can see what you've done. If anything, if you don't do nothing, you can see something.
Oh, you see what he said? At least he can look at his kids and be like, well, at least I created a beautiful baby. And basically, he was just saying, if you haven't done anything in life, at least you can look at what you made. So he's basically saying, Tim is basically saying, if I'm the type of person who don't have anything going on in life, at least I can get one off and produce a child that more than likely I'm not going to take care of.
The life was, you know, it was to you.
So the kids are sort of artwork?
Well, not really, but you can, like they might grow up to be doctors or actors, you know, and you can say, look, that's my boy, or that's my girl, you know. Whereas, you know, there's some people that can't have children at all.
Their mothers raised Timothy's children, and welfare pays for them. On the first day of each month at noon, the mothers gather outside the project's mailroom, waiting for the postman to deliver their check.
Oh, we call it Mother's Day.
Why?
Because us mothers be getting our check that day, getting their welfare checks, and call it Mother's Day.
Alice's welfare check comes to $385 a month. She cashes it at the corner store.
Back in town now.
She gets another $112 in food stamps.
I don't think I would have had the second 2 children if I didn't think welfare was there.
And this is a good example to say, guys out here that think women are putting them out the house for $383. Like, come on now. Even back then, that probably was, $83 went further then than it did now. But that's not enough to run around here trying to get knocked up by any old Joe just to get. Ain't no woman out here, I want to see her. What woman out here became a millionaire from welfare? Comment in the comment section. I want to bring you on my show and interview you and see how you did it. Sure, I need to. If y'all becoming millionaires from it, hey, that's a whole business right there. But these guys out here, like Tim just said, and you finna listen to him say it, but listen.
I like welfare because it makes me lazy.
It does?
Yeah, it makes you lazy just to sit around and wait for a monthly check to come in. You know, I just like to work. I like money to come in every week, every 2 weeks.
Why doesn't Timothy help you take care of those kids?
One thing I do know about Timothy, that if he did have a job, see you another blue moon. I know he would take care of me and the children and the bills. But what's holding him back? Well, this is what he tells me all the time. He figure I'm gonna be with another guy, or I'm gonna slip away from him while he at work. That don't make no sense to me.
Don't you get mad sometimes?
I get mad a lot of times about financially support from Timothy.
What do you say to it?
I always said, ain't that hard to get a job. Go out there and look for a job.
It sure ain't that hard to get a job. Because in this movie here, and y'all will see it when I drop the link, in this movie here, it was women that were actually driving 3 and 4 hours, catching 2, 3 different 4 buses, catching trains, just so they could go to work. And yes, they were still getting welfare or whatever. But if anybody that ever been on the system, you know, in order to keep that welfare, you're gonna have you a job, or they gonna cut you off. They got this thing they call when they sanction you or whatever. When they be like, "Oh, you ain't got a job in the good amount of time, so I'm gonna have to cut you off."
I'm sick and tired of just laying back waiting for a welfare check. I said, this is not how I want to live the rest of my life. This is not the way I plan for my future to be.
Does it make you feel bad that you can't support your kids?
Yes.
It makes you feel bad for real. You see how he said it. They said, "Does it make you feel bad that you can't support your kids?" He's talking about, yes. Katie, I'm still mad that they only showing how black men got all those kids. But what about the other communities? Yeah, that is true. I told you what they did, and I'm gonna drop that down in the comment section about the Universe 25. Oh, the Queen Maker, she gonna break it down. Like, I could do a video on it, but I just feel like I want you guys to watch her breakdown of it because she does it so good. The Universe 25 was the whole experiment that they made just for black people. And that's what we're dealing with. This whole look, anytime you got that man that created Universe 25, and then you have a little bit Universe 25 happened in like the 1960s or whatever, and then this welfare thing that came about, and that was really made to help other people, but black people took advantage of it. But that whole system with the projects and all that stuff was set up for the detriment of the black community. All of that was set up against us. And that's why they only focus on us, because this whole downfall was set up for us. So they want to see how it's going. That's exactly what.
How do they make it? Where do they get the money?
Well, the majority of them, the mothers on welfare, and welfare gives them the stipend for the month. So what I'm not doing, the government does.
What would happen if the government didn't?
Oh, look how he looked when he said, "What would happen if the government did not help?" That man looked like he what? Hold up. I don't know if welfare could. Man, I don't know what's gonna happen.
This is a big disaster, I guess, because you can't give something that.
Oh my God. He said the situation would be a big disaster if it wasn't for welfare. That's sad. Man, when I look at how broken our people are, all you can do is just shake your head. This is insane. It's sad, but at least he's telling the truth. At least he's telling the truth.
You don't have. In order to get.
And just to say this, he's sitting up here, talking to this man that did the experiment. I mean, he's not the one that created Universe 25, but he is the reporter reporting on the experiment that has been done against our community. And he's being very honest with him. But I was just thinking, dang, I see why some women will actually be happier when a man lie to them, because when that man actually open up and tell you the truth, it's sad. Hearing the truth is sad.
You got to have for yourself.
You see, people out there watching will say, "Why didn't he think about that before he brought 6 kids into the world?"
Well, mother had a choice. She could have had an abortion, or she could have kept the child.
There he go. So that all sums up my today's video, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna come with a part 2, because I've seen some other videos related to how women need to selectively breed too. What he just said, that woman can either go to that clinic, get that baby up out of her the professional way, or she can have it. That's what he said. Well, that might be how it is now. But welfare was set up for the white people. Yep. It actually was made for them for after the war so they could really stay afloat. Yep. And support their spouses while they're in combat. You sure right about that too. I need to do I'm gonna look up everything and do a video. If if you do a call-in show, I have to call about this. Yes, and you know what? I said the part two that I'm gonna do about this, it's gonna be later on tonight because I got a meeting I gotta be to. That's gonna be about an hour. So if I do a show tonight, it'll be probably like around it'll have to be around 9 something. But if I do a part two, I want to do it during the day, so it'll be next week. I'm gonna do it next week. And it's gonna be just the type of show where I just drop the link and then you guys, as a matter of fact, let me see. I got time now. Shoot. Y'all guys want to call in. If y'all want to tap in, I don't know if you at work or not, Bougie Barbie. I think you on a different time zone as me. But I most definitely would love to hear other people stance, other people opinion on this situation as far as how important selective breeding is. But this gentleman right here, Tim, he summed it all up right here when he just said what he said. Let me see if I could go back.
This is a big disaster, I guess, because you can't give something that you don't have. In order to give, you got to have for yourself.
Okay, he said you cannot give what you don't have. But Tim, you went to you had sexual education just like everybody else did. You know how babies are born. If you know you don't have it, then why would you steady lay down with these women and bust in them? And you know that's what creates a baby. Why even put yourself in a situation where you're like, dang, I got this girl pregnant. I don't even have enough money to send her to the clinic. If this girl is a willing participant in going to the clinic to get rid of this that I can't take care of, if you don't have the money, for her to go to the clinic, then I'm sorry, I would have to pull up a GoFundMe or something. Because I look at it like this. And don't get me wrong, I'm not telling women what to do with their bodies. I know there's other now just being honest, people like Cynthia G and there's some other creators, they will encourage a woman to, go on and handle their business at the clinic. But I'm not the one that's gonna push for I'm not the one that's gonna push for a woman to, do that or whatever. That's a decision that you make. That's the decision that, whoever got you pregnant, that's the decision y'all make. But in most cases, especially looking at the fact, I'm always going to go back to it when I talk about it. Looking at the fact of our numbers is 70% of women raising their kids by themselves. So you got women who are basically refusing to get on birth control. A lot of them don't believe in birth control. I was always on birth control. I think that's why I probably always had a weight problem too. Just being honest. But I always stayed on birth control. That's why I don't have, a whole plethora of children. But he said they don't want to have abortion, and they choose to have a baby. So really Tim feel like po Tim, because Tim feel like all he can do is bust a nut. He feel like that is the highlight of his life. And that's sad. He feel like that's all he can do is, bust a nut. Oh, that's so sad. That's really sad that Tim feels like that. He feel like he less of a man. He feel like, man, I can't support my kids. My life is crap. I think he got probably a charge on his record. He probably can't get a decent job. I mean, the whole regular rundown story of the brother in the hood. That's basically Tim. You guys are welcome to to click that link. If y'all
You see people out there watching us.
if y'all want to come up here and talk about this whole situation, this is a whole situation that has been plaguing our community since, the late 60s, early 70s. It's like we came out of the civil rights movement and we didn't walk up. It's like we dwindled down. It's like, and then I just look at it like, if we could just have that love for each other, if it wasn't just so much hate against one another, you got the male against the females, you got the older men against the younger men, and you got the older women against the younger women jealous of older women, and it's just so much jealousy. The light skin against the dark skin, the tall against the short, the fat against the skinny. I mean, if we could all just love each other, I think that's a big step in by itself. Oh, I think that's Bougie Barbie.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Hey,
Hey.
Bougie Barbie.
Hey.
Welcome to
Hey, girl. Look, I'm super nervous. I'll never call in.
You sound so cute. Don't be
Oh,
nervous.
I'll never call into nobody's show. But girl,
Oh
this
my
subject,
God. Thank you so much for calling. You got
you
a
know I
best
love your show.
appreciation
So
ever.
look, this Tim, every time you play him, I get upset. Tim is
I promise, Barbie. Oh my
Tim raised
God.
my blood pressure.
Tim bring my blood pressure up. The palms of my hand start sweating when I hear him talk.
Right, right. And he's just so proud to say, all I have to offer is I laid down with somebody, made some kids. I didn't take care of them, but I made them. Oh, Tim had me so upset. I mean,
Ooh.
I'm like you. I want to see in the future. Like I have looked, trying to find out, like if there's, like a update on these people's lives, because I
Yes,
would
I want to
love
see
to.
an update.
I want to know what happened to him. And I think there's a woman in here too, that the woman was, I think she had multiple kids, but she was the one who said that she had aspirations to be a scientist or a chemist or something.
Really?
It was something. There's another part in here that's a big deal. And this woman, I think she ended up having like 3 kids. There's 3 different dads. But she had this real like interest in and I think she had the talent and the education for it. But because she had the kids, she couldn't get off the, welfare cycle and everything, or didn't feel like she could. So I don't know, but it
That
was
is
a
sad. I hate that. I hate that.
yeah,
And Barbie, I see it so much in our community. I see smart people. I'm talking about men and women. I see
right.
that they're smart and they look like they have the capability to do successful things, but it's like that whole hood mentality.
Mhm. Right.
It's,
And you know what? You never know until you, so it's like they're all in that one spot, trafficking this same mindset and the same thing. If something doesn't interrupt that, you just keep, repeating the same cycle and practicing these same habits. Because I'm sure Tim's dad or uncles or something like that, people around him kept saying, oh yeah, you got to get these women, you got to make these
yes.
babies, you got to do, but nobody said, hey, you don't make these kids, get a good job, or if you have kids, you make sure you're going to take care of each one of these kids, and how that looks and what that is. Making children is not the most important thing. Taking care of them and being a good
Yes.
example to them. So
Thank
people,
you.
you know what I'm saying? People probably never, I don't completely blame Tim for his thinking, because it's a thinking that is just, recycled and repeated. It's like for me, my parents, I make way more money than my parents ever took together ever thought of
Oh,
making.
that is so good.
You know what I'm saying? But I had to get out of their mindset. If I was only like, if I stayed out, and luckily for me, I went to the military, so I got out of there thinking.
Oh, well, thank you
But
for serving our country.
oh, thank you,
Even
and
though
you're
it is
welcome.
kind of shabby right now, it's not in
All
good
right,
condition. But thank you, sister.
right.
Thank
I
you.
did my little part.
I know that's right. How many years did you serve?
I was 18, a little bit more than 18 years. I had to come out a little early for a medical reason, but I still, did my thing. I did all the
That
time
is
I could
so
do.
good. That is
If
so
I
good.
could have stayed, I would have stayed. I love being military. I'm not like I didn't have the
What's
experience that
your
other people.
parents?
My dad he was Army. My mother was not, but she had government contracts. So she worked she was a tailor. So she had all these
Oh,
contracts, like how you see all those like the name tapes and all and the emblems and stuff that are on the uniforms. My
oh,
mom
she
worked
like
with a
that.
base. Well, she sewed them on and she did all the tailoring and stuff, the standard tailoring. She, my uncle, it was like a family business kind of. So,
Oh, that is so good. I just
Mhm.
heard they opened up a great clips at the military base on Nellis out here in Vegas. I was
Mhm.
thinking about going out there, girl. They paying more money too.
Shoot, I mean, yeah, that's a good one to go to. And I thought you were still a barber. You not still
Yeah, I'm still
barbering, or you
going.
still do? Okay.
I'm still with Great Clips.
Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, no, look at it. I mean, there's always money out there. You know what I mean?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's so good. You grew up with both parents.
I did. I grew up with both of them. But you know what? But look, I would describe my mom as being a single parent. My dad was there until, he and my mom passed away, but they was always there. But
Oh, that's
I would still
good.
describe my mom as being a single parent because my dad, I mean, he was at home every day, every night. He picked us up, he took us to school, all that kind of stuff. But when it came to the real, like being the loving, doting parent and all that, that was my mom. My dad
Mm-hmm.
was not, he didn't do all that. He wasn't, I mean, he was mechanically a good parent and he paid a bit, but it was just stuff that I don't know. I mean, I
I,
love my dad.
I
We had a
know
great
exactly
relationship,
what you're
but
describing. I know exactly
you
what you're
know,
describing because up there where I cut hair at, I see a lot of women who are married, but I've
hmm
never seen their husband ever bring those kids in with him.
right,
I mean,
right,
you come into the barbershop by yourself, but your wife got to bring the three boys.
right. And
And
that's the
then I
thing.
noticed it's not that same respect, like how boys interact with their mother versus how they act with their dad. Like it's just like she like a single mother, but she
Right,
married.
right. I mean, it was people. I mean, I know this sounds terrible, but it
Well,
was people because my mom and my uncle worked together, and I would work as a teenager. You don't have a choice when you're a kid. You know how it goes. But
oh
so
yeah.
I would work there in the shop with. I'm the only girl, so I would work with my uncle and my mom, and people thought my uncle was my dad because they never saw my dad. so,
Really?
so
Oh, that's
I was like, no, it's
crazy.
my uncle.
And then y'all probably favor. I mean, the
Right,
genes.
right.
Oh, that is crazy.
So I'm like, no,
Yeah.
that is my uncle. Don't say that.
That's my dunkle.
Right?
My daddy uncle. My
Right.
dunkle.
He was, yeah, I mean, I was with him, so I hang so tight with him that people thought that he was, my dad.
Oh, that is something
But
else.
yeah, I mean, so all the kind of fun, like going to like amusement parks and that kind of thing, my dad was not about to do it. He's like,
Oh,
okay, I paid
yeah.
for it. Y'all can go take a friend, do this, do that, go with your uncle, whatever. But he wasn't gonna do it.
I
And
know
so
exactly
my
what you
mom had to
mean.
do it, all the little kitty stuff, she had to do all that. And I mean, I'm not discounting him. He's from that era. I'm a little older than you, I think. So
I thought we were the same age. You
I think
42,
I'm
right?
45. What, you're
Oh,
43?
okay, okay.
Yeah. So
So
okay.
yeah, we in the same era.
Right, right, right. Yeah,
We
now
in
we
the
still.
same era. And I don't know where are you from? Like exactly like city and state.
I'm from Alabama, but I live in Texas now.
Oh, okay. So you
Yeah.
from down south too. I've seen a
Yeah.
lot of this, and I'm gonna say this. I've seen a lot of two-parent homes, like kids
Mhm.
around the neighborhood, kids I went to school with. But they carried themselves like they were raised by single mothers because
Mhm.
their mother and daddy was working all the time, and these
Mhm.
kids were running wild.
Right.
So I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna lie. Like you sound, you come from a well-rounded background,
I
but
do.
from a
I
lot
had
of people that
good
I
people around me.
seen, you had good people around you.
Mhm.
And a lot of
Luckily.
people that I seen that was raised in two-parent households, it was just like a single parent home
Mhm.
because these parents were over influx with bills and they were working all the time. And these kids were
Mhm.
running wild. I mean, these were the kids at the football game sleeping with people under the bleachers.
It's like my best friend. We've known each other since we were about 13 years old, and I promise you, I knew her dad was in the house and all that, but I didn't meet her dad until we were like almost in our 20s. That
Really,
he
girl?
was in the house. We used to have little sleepovers here and there. My parents didn't let us do a whole lot of that. They didn't really like, let us
Yeah,
have
my mama
people.
wouldn't let me go to other people's house, but I
Yeah,
could
it
have
was my
sleepover in
daddy
my
was
house.
where he wasn't like the most doting person. He was protective like no other. You know what I mean? It
Uh-huh.
brought, it was a fight to try to spend the night with somebody.
Oh yeah.
But he did, but anyway, so yeah, I didn't know my friend's dad until I was darn near grown. You
Y'all
know,
was in college? Like, that's
we were like
crazy.
about to graduate high school, and I was like, wait, I was like, that's your dad? She was like, yeah, don't you know my dad? I was like, no.
Girl, probably
He
be at
worked
his side
so
chick
much.
house.
He was
Oh, he worked a lot.
military. He was military, but like he was deployed all the time. I promise you, I never laid eyes on him. I
That's
didn't
why
even know that
I
his
said
dad
I
was in.
gotta do a show about these single married mothers.
Right, right. So yeah, but if look, what was it? Okay, you there was one thing I don't want to hold you up. I know you got your meeting. But there was something that you were on in the video, and I wanted to, if you speak about it, if you do a video on it in the future. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so I know that Tim, it's a lot of Tims. We know this.
It's a
I
lot
grew
of
up in a,
teams.
there's a lot of Tims out there. We all know a Tim, um but this is the thing, they don't I always hated how, look, if black people are only 12% of the population, let's say
Yes,
we're
and
14,
it's
15.
dwindling down lower than that, especially since a lot of the immigrants have came in.
Yeah.
I want to do a show about that because I heard Dr. Umar speak about that. A
Mhm.
big reason why they are bringing a lot of the immigrants in is
Right.
basically to dwindle our numbers even lower, and then not even including all of the mixed races that we do. You having more black women dating out. You have, of course, black
Exactly.
people doing it. So this is dwindling our numbers down. A lot of those
Right.
people who are having mixed children, they are not reporting to the census that they're black. They're reporting other.
Exactly. Exactly. And not wanting to report, and for the numbers, look, the census will also say, okay, like they, how they like to tell us, that what is it, one drop rule that makes you black. But on the census, if you
That ain't
are what,
true.
yeah, on the census, they'll make you something else to make their numbers look better. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So there's a lot of trickery. But okay, let me say this part. But anyway, so we got all these Tims out here. We already know that. We good on that. But look,
Mhm.
we're only whatever percentage of the population that blacks are, that's what we are.
Mhm.
And there's so think about this. The welfare system does not exist because of black people. They didn't make it. They're not going to, if they
Yeah.
won't give us stuff now, they're not going to
Thank
keep
you.
us, supported on the welfare system. They're
Thank
not going to keep
you.
the welfare system in place for us. They're not going to do that because
Nope.
they won't do anything else. They look how
Nope.
they act about reparations.
Thank you,
So,
Barbie. And you know what? To be
okay.
honest, that's why they came up with welfare reform because of us.
Right, right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's why.
That's a whole other combo too.
Oh, that is a whole nother conversation. Girl, I have in this show today, I have thought about 4 different shows that I have
Right.
to work on. So,
Exactly. Exactly. I wish I had the time. I would help you research this, but oh my gosh,
oh
because I
yes,
want
most
you to
definitely.
do
You can
them.
hit me up subscribe to me on Facebook. I'll follow you back. You can send me stuff through there. Or you can most definitely follow me over on Instagram, Katie Talk 101. You can send me stuff in the inbox on there.
I don't
Or
even
you can
have
always
no.
just email me.
I was like, I will email you because that's the only thing. Because I don't want to, I don't want
Oh
to
yes, I'll
have
put
all
my
them extra
email. Because
between
I
work.
have a couple of Facebook friends who send me ideas about stuff.
Okay. Okay, no, I will definitely keep. I'll contact you. Is your email in your description?
I just dropped it
Okay.
down in the comment section.
Okay. All right. I'll definitely contact you that way. But yeah.
Thank
But yeah,
you
I
so
was gonna
much for
say.
coming on.
Oh, girl, it is no. I mean, I say it's no problem, but I really am nervous.
Oh, it's okay. I understand, girl. I be feeling nervous every time I go live, and I've been on here about 5
Oh,
years now.
it don't show for you. You sound perfect, but I'm
Oh, thank
girl.
you. And you got a speaking voice too. Thank
Oh,
you
thank
so
you,
much for
thank
coming
you,
on, Barbie.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, no, I'll hit you up on email. Thanks so much. I'm gonna let you get to the rest of the show. Thank you, Katie. I love
Yes,
being your
so
mod. This is
welcome. Love you
I
too. And thank you for
good
all
girl.
your support and moderation and everything.
Absolutely. You got it, girl. All right, I'll let you get back
Okay.
to it. Take care, girl.
Okay, you too. So yes, looking at it, I didn't plan on being live for 3 hours, but we almost there. So I really appreciate you guys that did come through. Thank you, Bougie Barbie, for stepping in and giving me your opinion and outlook on everything. And I most definitely will be back with another one. We're coming with a part 2 of selective breeding really soon. And most definitely next week, I'm going to do the show about the married single mothers. And you don't want to miss that. And we're coming with a lot more. So you guys make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not, share the video, and most definitely hit that notification bell. And I'm signing out. Katie Talk 101.